All right, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give double honors to the apostles, the elders, the great millstone, who want to teach well, and hearty Shalom to the elect. All right, it's another camp day through the spirit, probably how about Shema Shine. And it's another beautiful day to prophesy the downfall of America. Okay, America is falling. You can see that it's dragging itself into another war, based on the pretenses of based on the same things, sort of like the Iraq invasion happened, based on weapons of mass destruction. All right, the people of the land not being able to be free in some sense, form or fashion. Okay, all right. All these are the same tricks that Esau Edom uses to go invade another country. But the underlying reason of why they do it is they want to control the nation that has a resource that they want. Okay, don't forget that this place was given unto Esau. All right, through the blessings that Isaac gave unto him. Okay, so he's gonna go around doing whatever he wants by the force of the sword, meaning using his military. Okay. Right? This is Genesis chapter 27. All right, and I'm going to start at verse 38. It says, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered him and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of heaven from above. All right, so Esau, this is his world. The time frame that we are living in, this is his. Okay, the fatness goes into, in some instances, the resources, the land itself. Okay, animals could be a resource, people could be a resource, oil, gold, minerals, all right, water. How electricity is constructed. Those are all resources, and they belong to him. Okay, all right. It says here, and by thy sword thou shalt live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, thou shalt break the yoke from off thy neck. And that happened after around the Renaissance time period, all right, when Esau came back into rulership, all right. But if you look at the world now, it's ran by, PDFs, okay. Basically, it's ran by the so-called white man, as you can see, all right. And this man, with Donald Trump as the face of it, can go around the world doing whatever he wants to do, and he's doing that, okay. All right, this war that he started over there with Iran is spreading globally, all right. And in two instances, one instance, what I mean is that up until today, Iran has attacked either 11 to 14 other countries in regards to retaliation to what America has done unto Iran. And another way that this war is affecting things is I've seen on news outlets that's not mainstream that Spain doesn't want to have anything to do with America anymore, and some of these EU nations, all right, or European nations, they don't want to have anything to do with America anymore, all right. That can go in line with what it says in Jeremiah, all right. Well, now, never mind. That's something else. Well, that could go along with it says it, where it says the beast shall hate the whore, because the beast is NATO in the EU, and the whore is America. Look at what America is doing. It's spreading itself thin with its doctrines and philosophy. It's spreading itself everywhere. And then with its military power, it's spreading itself thin as well. There's reports that there's troops on ground in Nigeria, over there in Ecuador. You got people in Venezuela. And then they may be putting troops on the ground in Iran. You still got the Afghanistan and Iraq conflicts going on, okay? And up there in Syria, those conflicts are still going on, all right? America is spreading itself thin with all these wars, all right? And this is a good thing, all right? Um, Let me go. This is Amos chapter 1 and verse 11. It says, "Thus saith Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof. Because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. But I will send a fire upon Teman, and shall devour the palaces of Basra." All right. The Lord's about to come strike this place up with thermonuclear missiles, man. All right. The Lord's going to hit this place with thermonuclear missiles. All right. There's reports saying that that's coming out on, not mainstream media, where they're saying that Iran, all right, is threatening America's homeland, saying that the people won't be safe even in their own homes here in America. There's potentially some terrorist attack that may happen, and the shootout or the shooting that happened in Austin, down here in Texas, they are linking that to an individual that was, crazy about Iran and supported Iran, right? With the mainstream media, take it for the most part, take it for a grain of salt, okay? Because I'm hearing that the things that they report over here in America about, the devastation and stuff in Iran, they're not reporting here in America about the devastation that Iran has caused to Israel, right? And these are just things that you could just find out and see in the media. But the Lord's going to set a fire to this place, man. The fire is going to come via thermonuclear missiles. The fire is going to come via the wrath and the anger of the Lord for what Esau Edom has done unto the Lord's people, all right? I know this thing is going to overheat. We'll talk about overheating. Definitely don't need it to do that. There we go. We'll stop it from overheating. All right, the Lord's going to set this place ablaze with flames of fire, okay? Let me get this, because Sodom and Gomorrah, America is just going to be like Sodom and Gomorrah, okay? Because of all the filth, the wickedness, the trash, the abominations, the idol worship, the homosexuality. Okay? Alright, all these things are going to happen here. Alright? When I say these things, I mean the destruction that's coming. Okay? Alright, so it says here the doom of Sodom. Okay? Alright, you can liken this to what's gonna happen here in America. It's gonna be, you should liken this to the doom of America. Okay? Alright, it says here, and the men, alright, this is after Sarah was promised to have a child, alright, that would be Abraham's heir, okay? Alright, and they talk about Isaac, alright? So it says here, nonetheless, Lord willing, this happens soon to America. Okay? Right? So this is Genesis. This is Genesis chapter. All right, this is Genesis chapter. All right, this is Genesis chapter 19. Let me just get this straight to the point. This is Genesis chapter 19 and verse. I'm gonna start at 4 because it's going to show you the. No, I'm starting at 15. It says here, you should already know about the wickedness of Sodom and Gomorrah, okay? That you can liken America to that same state, okay? It says here, and when the morning arose, the two angels hasted Lot, saying, Arise, take thy wife and thy two daughters, which are here, lest thou be consumed in the iniquity of the city. And it said, it has here for the iniquity, in my footnotes it has punishment, okay? All right, a punishment is coming to America, all right? And the Lord, like I had just read in Amos, is going to be destruction with fire, man, okay? That's going to be the punishment that's going to come to this place, all right? It says here, and while he lingered, the men laid hands upon his head. All right, and while he lingered, the men laid hold. It says here, and while he lingered, the men laid hold upon his hand, and upon the hand of his wife, and upon the hand of his two daughters, Yahweh being merciful unto him, and they brought him forth and set him without the city. And you can liken that to what's going to happen unto the elect, man. The Lord's mercy is going to be so gracious towards the elect that the Lord's going to, when you start with this word, the Lord is going to lead them out of the destruction of America, right? The Lord is going to take care of his elect in the time of in the time of evil. And evil just means bad times, okay? All right. They're going to be just like this. How the Lord's mercy was upon Lot and his family. To this extent, the same way is going to be the mercy of the Lord upon the elect. Okay. All right. It says here, and it came to pass when they had brought them forth abroad, that he said, escape for thy life, look neither behind, neither stay thou in the plain, escape to the mountain, lest thou be consumed. And Lot said unto them, oh, not so, my Lord. Behold, now thy servant hath found grace in thy sight, and thou hast magnified thy mercy, which thou hast shown unto me, and saving my life. I cannot escape to the mountain, lest some evil take me and I die. Behold, now this city is near to flee unto, and it is a little one. Oh, let me escape thither. Is it not a little one? And my soul shall live. And he said unto him, see, I have accepted thee concerning this thing, that I will not overthrow this city for the which thou hast spoken. Haste thee, escape thither, for I cannot do anything till thou come thither. Therefore the name of the city was called Zoar. The sun was risen upon the earth when Lot entered into Zoar. This is the point right here, all right? This is what's going to happen unto America. Then Yahweh rained on Sodom and Gomorrah, rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from Yahweh out of heaven. And he overthrew the cities and the plain and all the inhabitants of the city, and that which grew upon the ground. All right, so to be overthrown, it has in my footnotes devastated. All right, this place America is going to be devastated. All right, just as the things that I'm reading here is going to happen in a different instance. It's going to happen behind thermonuclear missiles. All right, it's not going to happen behind sulfur and brimstone like it did in the olden times. Okay, let's go ahead and look up some words. So it says here, Yahweh rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire. So I'm looking at this word brimstone. It says brimstone of judgment. All right, sulfur, especially inflammable brimstone. Right? It says here, Chaldee Hebrew lexicon. It says pitch. Sulfur. All right, it says name of which was afterwards transferred to another inflammable material, especially sulfur. All right. It says brimstone of judgment. All right, so the Lord's judgment is going to come from this time, and this time thermonuclear missiles. Okay, all right, which is going to produce fire. It says for the word fire, it says flame, fire, for cooking, roasting, parching. All right. And what's going to happen to the people here in America? They're going to be cooked. What's going to happen to the people here and all the things here in America, just like it said for all the things that grew out of the ground and all the inhabitants of the city, they were overthrown. All right, and let's look at that word overthrown, because that's how it's going to be here in America. The word for overthrown is hot. It says to overthrow, overturn, to change. So America's this great establishment as far as the world is concerned. The Lord's going to change it to a desolation. All right. It says here to turn on someone, to be overthrown. Let's look at what overthrown means. To remove forcibly from power. All right, and that's what's going to happen to America, man. America is going to be removed forcibly from power by the means of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai and the thermonuclear missiles. Okay, all right. The thermonuclear missiles that the Lord's going to send over here is going to bring forth this destruction. These hypersonic missiles, I've seen a video of these hypersonic missiles that were shot from Iran into Israel. And the Patriot defense system, or whatever defense system that Esau Edom got over there in the Middle East to protect Israel, those missiles were able to avoid those that their defense system, their Golden Dome, Iron Dome, whatever they want to call it. Okay, it was able to avoid them in some of these videos I see. And it made me think about, when I saw that video, it made me think about Joel, the 2nd chapter, how those missiles are going to have the Spirit of the Lord on them when the Lord sends them forth over here to America. Okay? Let me see if I can find that video. I think I saved it on TikTok. Now look at this.
We could use it basically. We could just fly in and use it. Nobody's going to tell us not to use it.
That's the pride of Esau right there.
The UK either. That island that you read about, the lease, okay, for whatever reason, he made a lease of the island. Somebody came and took it away from him. And it's taken 3 or 4 days for us to work out where we can land there. It would have been much more convenient landing there as opposed to flying many extra. So we are very surprised. This is not Winston Churchill that we're dealing with.
So like I mentioned earlier, they don't want to do anything with Spain anymore, and Spain doesn't want to allow American military fighter jets to use their territory to continue this war. Okay, let me see. Here goes that video. You may not be able to see it. Probably not be able to see it because of the sun. But all footage shows Iranian missiles successfully evading 10 interceptors to hit its target in Jerusalem following U.S.-Israel strikes from Iran. These strikes and all this stuff that's happening, this is all good, man, because it's leading us to getting up out of here, man. These things are leading us to getting up out of here. Now, all this turmoil, all this grief that you're going through personally, right? These are the reasons that you should be calling upon the Lord. The things that you see your people going through, those are reasons you should be calling upon the Lord. But you should be excited in these times because you are witnessing what is the start of the downfall of your enemy. All right, Esau Edom is spreading his military thin, like I had mentioned. All right, with these small conflicts going on globally, and And now this bigger conflict going on between Iran, Israel, and America. Right? You are your redemption draws nigh. Let me see if I can find it. I know something on the gospel. This is Luke chapter 21. Excuse me. At verse 25 it says, and there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth, distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the wave roaring. All right, did we not? We just had a blood moon a couple days ago. All right, you still got the earthquakes going on. You got individual nations. They are attacking U.S. embassies in these foreign countries. Okay, all right. You have here men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. So these things that are happening, we are getting closer and closer to getting up out of here, man. All right, we still have to wait for World War III to actually kick off. There has to be the MOTB, and then after those two major prophecies, man, deliverance is coming, all right? And deliverance is the most important thing that should be on your plate, man. All right, you getting up out of your captivity. You watching your enemies go down, all right? You watching your enemies go down. You getting out of the place, out of the physical and mental enslavement that you've been born into, okay? All right. I'm gonna read this again. It says here, and when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. So that means the Lord is gonna come get us, man. All right. And that's what we need. Let's see what it says in Romans 8:19. We need the Lord to come get us, man. All right. I need the Lord to come get me. All right, this is Romans 8:19. It says, I'm gonna start at 18. I'm gonna start at 17. And if children, then heirs of Yahweh and joint heirs with the Mashiach, if so be that we suffer with him, that we may also be glorified together. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared to the glory which shall be revealed in us. For the earnest expectation of the creature waited for the manifestation of the sons of power. And the elect are going to be the sons of power, man. All right? They're going to be reigning with the Lord. All right? We are waiting for Yahweh Shai to come to deliver us, beam us up in the chariots. We watch the destruction of America. Right, we drink wine with the Lord in his kingdom. Again, as he said that he would do with us until he won't drink wine again, until, he's in his Father's kingdom. And that's what I want to do. That's part of my motivation, okay? All right? But the creatures, man, all right? The creation, we're all waiting for the Lord. We're all waiting for Yahweh Shai to come back. We're all waiting for the Heavenly Father to send Yahweh Shai so he can deliver us, all right? We are all waiting, hoping, myself personally, to be of the elect, okay? All right? It says here, verse 20, for the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who hath subjected the same in hope. All right? Those that have hope in his word, those are the ones that's on the highways preaching and teaching. Those are the ones that's making their body a living sacrifice. Those are the ones that's doing all they can to please Yahweh Shema Shai. And those individuals are in the same boat as those individuals that are, in a sense, subject to wickedness, right? But those that have their hope put off the wickedness, okay? we are putting on as the elect, as it says in Colossians 3:12, okay? And putting on as the elect requires you to be a different individual, all right? It says here, verse 21, because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of Yahweh. For we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now. The animals are growing, crying and whining. The grass, the trees, the people, okay? All right, the dirt, anything that's living, the bugs, okay? All right, the birds, the bees, the animals in the ocean, the water, the sky, the clouds, all these things are waiting for the Lord's people to return unto him, waiting for Yahweh Shai to come. But while that's happening, they're crying unto the Lord for this white man to get up out of here, man. Okay? They're crying for the Lord to hurry up and get this damn devil out of here, this corruption. All right? It says here, verse 23, and not only they, but ourselves also, which have the first fruits of the Spirit, even we ourselves grown within ourselves, waiting for the adoption to wit the redemption of our body. Right? When we down or we upset about something, or we not doing our best that we can for the Lord, or we see something happening to our people, or there's oppression that's going on to you directly, that's you crying and you groaning unto yourself and to the Lord. If you talk to yourself or you screaming to yourself about it in your mind, or you praying about it, that's your groanings, that's your crying. That's the Lord is hearing those things, All right, we got to keep praying and crying to the Lord until he makes Jerusalem a praise on the earth. And we got to keep doing that, because there's nothing else that we can do besides wait on the Lord. And while we wait, we have tools to use, faith and prayer, okay? Verse 24 says, for we are saved by hope, but hope that is seen is not hope. For what a man seeth, why doeth he yet hope for? Right? We haven't seen the salvation. We reading about it, right? But when you see yourself in that chariot, that's when you know you made it, man. All right? But right now, we just hoping. I'm just hoping. Brothers, wherever they preaching it, they hoping to be elect, It says here, but if we hope for that we see not, then we do with patience wait for it. Likewise, the Spirit also helpeth our infirmities, for we know not what we should pray for as we ought, but the Spirit itself maketh intercession for us with groanings which cannot be uttered. All right, so when we don't know what to cry to the Lord about, the Spirit of the Lord is an intercessor for us to cry to the Lord about things that happen within our lives, the oppression, the stuff that's happening to our people, us wanting to hurry and get out of here, So we have that's the Comforter, man. The Comforter helps us in more than one way, man. The Comforter helps us grow and pray and cry to the Lord. The Comforter helps us understand the situations that we're in and what's going to end how these situations are going to end. All right. It says here, verse 27, and he that searcheth the hearts knoweth what is the mind of the Spirit, because he maketh intercession for the saints according to the will of Yahweh. All right. So we need to be looking forward to our redemption, man. It's drawing nigh. Okay, all right. The Lord is coming to get us. You look at what's going on in the world. Look at all the rioting that's going on. Just because it's not being propagated on the mainstream media doesn't mean it's still not going on. All right. I seen something on social media today or the other day where it says those Gen Z people who did that riot over there in Nepal is ready to replace those individuals. They're starting to replace their government, okay? The things that you see here in the world are all leading to the end of this place, man. They're all leading to the end of the so-called white man's reign, okay? And these are glorious times, man. We are in glorious times, okay? Let me go back to Luke. This is Luke chapter 21. Let me start up. This is Luke 21 and 8. It says, he said, take heed that ye be not deceived, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Mashiach, and the time draweth near, go ye not therefore after them. Don't follow after false prophets, man. Stay out of these churches. Listen to the men of Great Millstone, man. Listen to Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Rakah, Apostle Aryama, and all the bishops and elders of Great Millstone, Don't just listen to me. If you listen to me, listen to those men, Because those are the men that taught me, And I'm still young. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. But those men have been teaching for 30 plus years, 20 plus years, 10 plus years, And Lord will, this be the last year that we are here in this place, and we can go be with the Lord, man. Because we getting there. We getting to the point where we're gonna be going home soon, man. So we gotta keep hoping and praying that we are closer to the point of us going home. All right. But it says here, verse 9, Luke 21 and 9, but when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not yet. The end is not by and by. When it says for by and by, it says, is in my footnotes it says, or in my cleft notes it says, is not coming immediately. So we hear the wars, we hear the commotions, all right? Verse, we still gotta wait for the mark of the beast. We still gotta wait for the actually happen. Like the grab troops getting sent to the Middle East, or all the troops getting sent to the Middle East. Okay, we still waiting for things like that to happen. Right? It says here, then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilence and fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven. Like that blood moon that happened the other day, man. Alright? I seen a picture where the blood moon was right over the Statue of Liberty. Okay? America's on its way out, man. Alright? It says here, but before all these they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. And this is something that also has to happen, the persecution of the men of the Lord. You can't fast forward the movie without seeing the scenes that happen prior to you getting to the end. Right? So we can't skip over being persecuted for this truth. Alright, we want World War III to happen, we want to be delivered, but part of the process of being delivered and part of the process of World War III happening and MOT being produced on a global scale, on a major scale, is persecution. That has to happen. That's one of the prerequisites to deliverance. And then you have to endure the persecution, whatever it may be. They build up all these concentration camps or these ICE detention centers, whatever you want to call them. Okay, and I seen a video, this lady was saying that there are reports coming out. You can't take everything you see on social media to heart, like you just can't take everything you see on the mainstream media to heart. You have to, research it. But what the lady was saying is that, the ICE agents, okay, they're over there in these detention centers grabbing men's, growings area, their balls sagging to their balls, explode or don't hold any form anymore. And this is the type of sick shit that Esau Edom will be doing, man. There's going to be all type of torture that's going to happen. There's going to be all types of just like I seen a video about these individuals down there in Guantanamo Bay, how they made them take like ice baths, all type of it's not just like sitting in an ice bath, but I can't even remember specifically how it went, but they were being tortured, Esau Edom and these sick ass people out here, they have all these type of, sick thoughts in their mind that they want to potentially do to people or may have the chance to do to people. All right, but that's part of persecution. That's part of what you may have to go through for believing on the Lord. All right? And don't be afraid of that shit, man. Because the Lord is the one that's putting you through it because you sinned against the Lord. All right, like the 7 brothers had told their king. Let me get that. This is 2 Maccabees chapter 7. And it says here, let me find it. This is 2 Maccabees 7 and 18. And after him also brought the 6 who being ready to die said, be not deceived without cause, for we suffer these things for ourselves, have sinned against our power. Therefore marvelous things are done unto us. And the marvelous things that was happening is how these men were being tortured for not bowing the knee to the current ruler at that time and eating swine's flesh, right? But the same thing may happen to you. The same thing may happen to me. But you have to be in the mindset of, hey, the Lord's going to get me out of this. Remember, you sinned against the Lord, so your transgressions, you have to pay for them. The Lord, Yahweh shall pay for his transgressions and all of our transgressions, but you're still here. You got to receive your judgment. And your judgment may be you get delivered and, no harm may fall upon you. But your judgment can also be you be put to death for the namesake of the Lord. All right, you have the most horrible death like these men went through. It says here, verse 19, 2 Maccabees 7 and 19. It says, but think not thou that takest in hand to strive against Yahweh, thou shalt not escape unpunished. All right, so Esau, Edom, they're going to do all these terrible things to us to make us afraid, to make us fear, to make us renounce the Lord, and all this other shit. But whatever it is that he may do, he's not going to escape unpunished, man. All right? He's not going to escape unpunished. All right? He's not going to escape unpunished because his ultimate judgment is going to be what it says in Obadiah 1, and I think it starts at 18. All right, and he's not going to escape from this, no matter what he does to us on this side. This is Obadiah chapter 1. I'm going to start at verse 17. It says here, but upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh has spoken. And this is what's going to happen to our enemies, man. All right, especially the so-called white man. All right, this is what's going to happen to the so-called white man. And once he's gone, that's it. You're not going to have to worry about any more wickedness, any more hidden racism, any more nonsense, any more pollution, any more land being defiled, any more, none of that. None of that's going to happen in the Lord's kingdom anyway. But it's not the rampantness and the wickedness and the abominations and all the other bullshit that has been born because of this wicked man is not going to be anymore. It's all going to be gone. All right, once he's gone. So he may be able to put hands on us and torture us and do all these other things to us because he's in the power seat and the Lord has given him authority to do so, and we have to pay for our transgression. But just think about it. Once we're over and done with paying for our transgressions against the Lord, Esau is going to be in captivity longer than you've been alive in your current body. Okay. All right, he's going to be in captivity longer than you've probably been alive in any of your other past lives, okay? All right, let's see. Let me get this. This is in the book of 2nd Ezra. chapter 16 and verse 67, it says, behold, Yahweh himself is the judge. Fear him. So don't be afraid about what some man is going to say that can happen to you. All right, because if it's not the will of the Lord for it to happen to you, don't worry about it, right? Fear the Lord, fear him. Have that reverence and respect for him. It says here, leave off from your sins and forget your iniquities, to meddle no more with them forever. So shall Yahweh lead you forth and deliver you from all your trouble. Right? And we're going to need deliverance from trouble. In order to get that deliverance, you got to know the names of the Lord. All right, this is Proverbs 1 and 33. It says, but whosoever hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely and shall be quiet from fear of evil. And evil just means bad times. Okay? So if you hearken unto the Lord, as what it is that I'm reading now, to leave off from your transgressions, your sins, and to meddle with them no more, the Lord can be merciful unto you and deliver you from all your trouble. Jacob's trouble is coming around the corner. That's another thing. You can't forget about that. All right? But the Lord can deliver you from all that, man. However you can imagine it in your mind, the Lord can do that for you, man. But He can do it even better. All right? Verse 68, it says, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. All right, that ultimate thing that they will try to offer with that MOTB. And don't take it, all right? It doesn't matter at the cost of your life, your children's life, your woman's life, your man's life, your grandma's life, your daddy's life, your whoever, your brother's life, your sister's life, it don't matter. All right, because if you take it, that's between you and the Lord. Whoever dies because you didn't take it, that ain't gonna be between them and the Lord. That's gonna be between you and the Lord. All right, and you ain't gonna like what the Lord's gonna do to you. Right? Verse 69, it says, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden under foot. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear Yahweh. And that's okay. Because that sounds like trouble, but just as much as that sounds like trouble, the Lord's gonna be there with you in that time of trouble if you hearkening unto him, if you listening unto him, if you having faith, if you believe, right? If you calling on the correct name, which is Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. It says here, they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. So they're not going to spare the kids, they're not going to spare the woman, they're not going to spare your grandma, they're not going to spare you, they're not going to spare your brother. All right? If you fear the Lord, they're going to come after you, man. All right? But you got to remember, like Elisha and Elijah, I can't remember how it went, like who was who, off the top of my mind, but one of them said, I'm going to do it. Kings. This is 2 Kings 6 and 14. I'm starting at 14. It says, therefore sit he thither horses and chariots and great hosts, and they came by night and compassed the city about. And when the servant of the man of Yahweh was risen early and gone forth, behold, a host compassed the city both with horses and chariots, and the servant said unto him, alas, my master, what shall we do? And he answered, fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. And Elijah prayed and said, Yahweh, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And Yahweh opened his eyes for the young man. And Yahweh opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. And when they prayed, and when they came down to him, Elisha prayed unto Yahweh and said, Smite this people, I pray thee, with blindness. And he smote them with blindness according to the word of Elisha. All right. So how many ever angels it was with Elisha and that young man? That's how it's gonna be for you, man. All right, you gotta believe that though. All right, these examples that are written of in the Bible are written for us to be encouraged to have faith, not to be discouraged, not to be in a fearful mindset. All right, not to be unbelieving, because those that don't believe, they're gonna die. All right, like it says in here in 2nd Ezra. It says here, for all the unfaithful, which is individuals that don't believe, shall die in their unfaithfulness. 2nd Ezra 15 and 4. So if you don't believe that the Lord can deliver you, then that's what's gonna happen. You're not gonna be delivered, and you're gonna be subject unto whatever your greatest fear may be. All right, or you may be subject to dying of starvation. You may be subject to being hit by a thermonuclear missile. But whatever the case may be, if Esau Edom wants to surround your house because you believe in the Lord, or whatever the case may be, just reflect on what it is that was being read to you today. All right, because the Lord is with you, man. All right. This is 2nd Ezra 16 and 71. It says here, they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire. Going through adversity, going through problems, going through torture, going through whatever it may be that the Lord may put before you, if you are a man of the Lord, It says, Hear, O ye my beloved, saith Yahweh, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. You got to believe that. Especially if you got the names of the Lord and his son, you got to believe that he's going to deliver you, man. All right, let me get one of my favorite precepts. This is Psalms chapter 15 and verse 15. It says, And call upon me in the day of trouble, I will deliver thee, and thou shalt glorify me. So call upon the name of the Lord, man. Call upon Yahweh, Bahashem, that means in the name of Yahweh Shai, because you can't get to the Heavenly Father without talking to his son. All right, but call upon the Lord. It says it right here. He's going to deliver you. He's going to deliver you. All right, let me get this in Isaiah. Here it is. This is Isaiah 41, verse 8, it says, "But thou, Israel, art my servant, Jacob, whom I have chosen, thou whom I have taken from the ends of the earth, and called thee from the chief men thereof, and said unto thee, Thou art my servant, I have chosen thee, and not cast thee away." The Lord has never cast us away, man. Alright? Verse 10, it says, "Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy power. I will strengthen thee, yea, I will help thee. Yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. Behold, all they that are incensed against thee shall be ashamed and confounded. They shall be as nothing, and they that strive with thee shall perish." So to strive with somebody means to fight. So however it may go down, right? If there's an individual that's, or a group of individuals that's, striving with you, fighting with you, the Lord's gonna be with you, man. All right. Don't think that He's not. All right. Let me see. Just want to look up some words real quick. So that word incensed, the word is sarah. It says to be hot, furious, burn, become angry. And our enemies are going to be angry with us. Our enemies are going to be upset with us. All right. And guess what? That's because they have received their prize here. Even 2/3 of our people, they're gonna come up against you, man. All right, because everybody's gonna know about the Israelites. All right, everybody's gonna know about the Lord, and when the Lord returns, it's gonna be too late for everybody. All right, if they haven't gotten their shit together. All right, but our enemies that are angry with us, that are going to try to kill us, that have this hostility toward us, they're gonna hurt us or whatever the case may be. Right, the Lord's gonna be with you. The Lord, you could be going through something so traumatic as far as what we can envision right now. You can go through it, and the Lord can numb your pain centers to not feel anything. All right. The Lord can do unimaginable things for you in the time of your troubles, man. Look at all the troubles that you've been through now, right? They're gonna pale in comparison to what you may go through in the future, but the Lord delivered you out of it. Right? They may have been uncomfortable, they may have been hurtful, they may have brought you down in some way, shape, form, or fashion, but the Lord delivered you from it. All right, and all it did was make you a better individual, man or a woman. It just made you a better individual. It made you mentally tougher, made you physically tougher. One of the two things has happened to you in regards to you being after you've been subject to trouble. You've been made better in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Okay. Verse 11 again, it says, "Behold, all they that were incensed against thee shall be ashamed and confounded. They shall be as nothing, and they that strive with thee shall perish. Thou shalt seek them and shalt not find them, even them that contend with thee. They that war against thee shall be as nothing and as a thing of naught. For I, Yahweh, thy power, will hold thy right hand, saying unto thee, Fear not, I will help thee." So the Lord's going to help you, man. The Lord has started helping His people by the Rakah HaKadosh, the Holy Spirit, by giving us the understanding of these scriptures. And understanding that who we are, why we're in the position that we're in. And if the Lord has been merciful unto you to give you this understanding in some way, shape, form, or fashion, don't think that the Lord's going to forsake you in the end. Because it's like I had read earlier, here in 2 Ezra 16, it says here, I'm going to read it again. It says here, verse 73, it says, "Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire." So that means you're going to be tested, man. And if you're gonna be tested, like you go to school and you whatever test you had to learn and you took because you studied and whatever the case may be and you passed it, it's gonna be the same way. Your experiences that the Lord has brought you through has given you faith to allow you to think that the Lord's gonna deliver you again and He's gonna do it again. Right? I was reading it the other day, and I wanted to do this as a lesson, but I'm gonna just read a little bit of it now. This is in 1 Corinthians, Second Corinthians, in the first chapter, and I'm gonna start at it's talking about Paul and his afflictions, man. All right, but I'm gonna start at 3. It says, "Blessed be Yahweh, even the Father of our Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach, the Father of mercies and the power of all comfort." Right, so pray for mercy, pray for comfort in the times of trouble. All right, you got the names of the Lord. That's the most important thing that you can have. That's the faith. It says here, "Who comforteth us in all our tribulation, that we may be able to comfort them which are in any trouble, by the comfort wherewith we ourselves are comforted of Yahweh." So you give something, you get it. You got comfort from the Lord, you give it to somebody else, right? And in this case, the comfort that the Apostle Paul was given, all right, he gave it to us through the mercies of the Lord in his letters, okay? It says here, verse 5, "For as the sufferings of Hamashiach abound in us, so our consolation also aboundeth by Hamashiach." And consolation goes to comfort, right? It says here, "And whether we be afflicted, it is for your comfort." It says consolation, but that word is comfort and salvation. So I'm going to read it again. "And whether we be afflicted, it is for your consolation and salvation, which is effectual in the enduring of the same suffering which we also suffer, or whether we be comforted is for your consolation and your salvation." Right? Because the comfort and the salvation, it comes through Yahweh Shai. And as they receive it from the Lord, and we're receiving the confidence that we can have in the Lord, just like Paul and all the other apostles have had through the letters. But when it's time for us to go through our times of being tried, we can think back on the things that Apostle Paul had said and be like, oh, you know what? Hey, I'm gonna be comforted in this though, because it's gonna, me going through what I gotta go through can encourage somebody else, you know? All right, nonetheless, verse 7, it says, "And our hope of you is steadfast, knowing that as ye are partakers of the suffering, so shall ye be also of the consolation." All right, and that comfort, okay? It says here, verse 8, For we would not, brethren, have you ignorant of our trouble which came to us in Asia, that we were pressed out of measure above strength, insomuch that we despaired even life. So they were going through it, man. They were going through it. All right, and that's what's going to happen as being a man of the Lord, or somebody that listens to the truth, you know, because they're watching everything you do. All right, if you have any, you know, aspect of what they call it, Semitism, you are probably on some type of hit list, man. All right, and if you are anything against America in any way, shape, form, or fashion, you're probably on another hit list. Okay, all right. If you support any radical religious movement, you're probably on the hit list. Okay. Nonetheless, none of that shit matters, man. Because the only thing that matters is you trusting in the Lord, you calling upon His name, and you sit there and you wait for Him to deliver you. Okay. That's the only thing that's going to matter. We're not afraid of what man can do and or say that he's going to do. Okay? It says here, verse 9, it says, but we had the sentence of death in ourselves, that we should not trust in ourselves, but in Yahweh which raiseth the dead. And how do we know that Yahweh raises the dead? He rose Yahweh Shai from the dead. That's part of the gospel. You got to believe that. Okay, verse 10, it says, who delivered us from a great death, and doth deliver, and whom we trust, that he will yet deliver us. All right, so the Lord, if he delivered you one time, he can deliver you again. You have to believe. You gotta believe. Verse 11, they also helping together by prayer for us, that for the gift bestowed upon us by the means of many persons, thanks may be given but by many on our behalf. All right. So the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, has delivered our forefathers from their transgression, from their, our Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai has delivered our forefathers in their time of adversity over and over again. The Lord has delivered you in your time of adversity over and over again. So that gives you all rhyme and reason to trust in Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai in a time of real trouble to deliver you over and over again. Okay? But trouble is coming, just like World War III is coming, just like the mark of the beast is coming, just like Jacob's trouble is coming. All the prophecies will come to pass, man. Everything that's written in this book will come to pass, now or later, right? And I'm hoping sooner rather than later, because I'm tired of living in this place. I'm tired of America. I'm tired of oppression. I hate this place, man. Lord Williams edified to the next time. We give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Shai, Bahashem, Bahashem. I want to give double honors to the apostles, elders of great millstone who rule out, teach well. Hearty Shalom to the elect, Kwam Yashawalam, Mawal Fababal, Yahweh, Mahar, Hawashai, Nawah, Baba Kasha, Shalom.